Welcome back to the Geek Gospel. Happy Wednesday, everybody. We are almost through the week, and with that means more movies to see, more shows to watch, and more fun to be had. How is everyone doing today? Since you asked so kindly, am doing pretty good. I'm really excited to see The Materialists tomorrow in theaters. It looks really, really good. And Celine Song, um, she has such a fascinating way of subverting love triangle movies. And if you guys have seen Past Lives, you know what I mean. And from what I'm hearing from people that have seen The Materialists or just Materialists, is that's a similar thing. It's not your classic, love triangle rom-com or anything like that. And she just has this way of telling these stories in such a humane and real way that it's not like a hokey, classic love triangle rom-com, the rich guy versus the poor guy, which one is she going to choose? Like, it's not like that at all, and I love that she does that, and she subverts the genre in a way that's absolutely beautiful. So I'm so psyched and stoked. Ooh, we just invented a word together. Very stoked to see that tomorrow. Last night I showed my wife, but I'm a cheerleader. If you guys haven't seen this movie is extremely ahead of its time. Um it's basically a queer clueless, where a naive teenager is sent to a conversion camp because her parents and friends suspect that she is a lesbian. And it is played wonderfully by Natasha Lyonne. Clea Duvall is in it as well, and Michelle Williams. RuPaul is in it. Melanie Linsky's in it. I mean, this is people that Dante Bosco is in it. Rufio. Um, so many actors, very, very young. I mean, this is 1999, 2000 era. And Jamie Babbitt is the one that directs it. And she does such a fantastic job. And I feel like at the time, this movie might have been a little ahead of its time, so it was very mixed received and then became a queer cult classic, and it is fantastic. If you guys haven't seen it, but I'm a cheerleader, it is streaming on Paramount Plus. It's really a fun time. Easy watch, hour and 25 minutes. Back in the day when movies were a lot quicker. No fluff, no filler. And so I would highly recommend it. On top of that, I've been watching Stick, and it's the show with Owen Wilson on Apple TV Plus. It is a golf type show, but more in the vein of Ted Lasso, really about these relationships, about love, loss, love of the game, loss of the game, second chances. 4 episodes in. The fourth one just dropped today. I watched it last night. As you know, Apple releases it a day early for some reason. If you're watching, then you can see it early. I'm really enjoying it. I love Owen Wilson. I think Owen Wilson's turn as Mobius in Loki was one of his best roles. So I am high on Owen Wilson right now. Acting wise, I don't know about the whole, at the Rolling Loud and Travis Scott and all this stuff. It's like, okay, cool. Take care of your kids, bro. But the show is really entertaining. The characters are really good. Mark Maron is in it. He's fantastic as usual. Bittersweet seeing Mark Maron because now we know the man, the myth, the legend that started it all, the podcast generation, is hanging up his hat after 15 years. WTF with Mark Maron will be ending in the fall. So it seems like, okay, we've seen him act, but now this is going to be his thing moving forward, and he's fantastic, and I really enjoy him as an actor, and I think he has a lot to offer in these kind of roles. These, gruff, no nonsense kind of guys. And so he was Owen Wilson's caddy, and basically Owen Wilson was a really hot golfer back in the day, about 15 years ago, had a huge meltdown live on TV during a tournament, and we don't know why, and we get to find out. And the show, basically the crux of it, is now he's trying to get redemption with this 17-year-old phenom who's incredible at golfing, and they go on the road together with his mom and Mark Maron. Can't highly recommend it enough. But we got some news. We got Mortal Kombat test screenings comparing it to Avengers Endgame. Seems like everyone wants to be Endgame. We got news last night that Rachel Brosnahan is set to lead Presumed Innocent Season 2 on Apple. And we got some updates from our boy James Gunn about Wonder Woman, about some stuff in the Superman movie, and we're going to take a look at that. And we're also going to take a look at the final trailer for Superman, which dropped today. So let's get into it. I can't wait to get into this because I am just a curious George when it comes to this bad boy. So as you guys know, during the pandemic, HBO Max put out a bunch of movies to streaming, kind of a betrayal to the creators who were, not promised, but ideally thought that their movies were going to go into theaters. Unfortunately, when the pandemic hit, HBO had to scramble, Warner Brothers had to scramble, and they started putting all the stuff. So we got Mortal Kombat. It was very lukewarm reception, no tournament. And we were like, where's the fun stuff? And why did they make up this random character when they have a plethora of characters to choose from the video game? So it was interesting to say the least. The best parts of the first one are definitely the Scorpion Sub-Zero plot. The opening scene in feudal Japan with Sub-Zero and Scorpion is fantastic and beautiful. Unfortunately, that is only 10 minutes of the movie. And then there's some characters that are pretty enjoyable, but overall, not that great of a movie. Very, very, very lukewarm reception. If we take a look at IMDb, we can see that this bad boy came in at a 6.1 and 44 Metascore. So basically lower than average. But what could the sequel look like? We hear that, they did a lot of overhaul of this. We have Carl Urban as our boy Johnny Cage. And we heard that there's actually going to be a tournament. So it was a little bit more exciting to get these updates that maybe there's some course correction and this thing is going into the theater, so they have confidence in it. It's not going straight to HBO Max. So now we're hearing that there's been test screenings going on. And the test screenings are apparently going extremely well. And this comes to us from CBR. They say this fall, Mortal Kombat 2 will finally hit theaters about 4 years after the release of the first movie. While the 2021 film was not without its criticism, the sequel is looking to be much better received if extremely positive test screenings are any indication. Though he didn't work on the previous movie, MCU and MonsterVerse vet Jeremy Slater, Moon Knight, Godzilla, Kong, The New Empire, was brought on board to write the script for Mortal Kombat 2. In an interview with Comic Book, Slater spoke about the goal of satisfying fan expectations with the anticipated movie. One thing he knew that he had to follow through on was featuring a tournament. Who would have thought? That would deliver after not having the presence in the first film. He says, I was adamant that we had to have this tournament in the movie. We can't make people wait another movie and then be like, come back for the finale, Slater put it. It was finding a structure to make the tournament as satisfying as you want it to be, because this had years of buildup. It's figuring out who the individual matches are going to be, which characters do you pair off for maximum emotional impact, but also for the most dynamic fights. Then also, what is the larger story you are telling between the tournaments? At the same time, Slater knew that making Mortal Kombat 2 an enjoyable movie wasn't as simple as writing a tournament in. Naturally, there's going to be some time to kill between the fights, and it was important that none of these scenes felt boring in comparison to the big, bloody brawls. Noting how many classic martial arts movies have a lot of sitting around and waiting until the fight scenes come. Slater said, there was a lot of effort put into making these scenes equally compelling. He stated, I was very cognizant of that we need to be telling a story on the margins where there is just as much exciting stuff happening outside of the tournament as inside of the tournament. So you're never bored, and both of these stories are moving the movie forward. Test screening reactions are very strong, according to Jeremy Slater. Another strategy employed was to be careful about which characters to lend these the most screen time to in Mortal Kombat 2. While having a cast of 20 people allowed for many major characters to be included, it also remains that only a handful will be able to have their stories explored in a meaningful way. Rather than making a 3 or 4 hour movie, decisions were made to focus on the story the audiences care about. He added, then making sure when you get to those moments that matter, the fights, the fatalities, the surprises, the deaths, that they land and they are satisfying as everyone wants them to be. I think we nailed it. The film had the best stunt team in the business. The actors are phenomenal. It's so much funnier and bigger than the first movie. Screenwriter then went on to share the reactions that people are having to Mortal Kombat 2 at the sequel's test screenings. In fact, Slater compared the reactions to how he felt when watching 2019 Avengers Endgame, a film widely considered to be among the best super movies ever made. He says, I'm so excited for people to see the movie. It's been done for a while. We've been waiting for the right release date and waiting for the right window. I have been to those test screenings, which are full of Mortal Kombat fans, and watching them react to it the way I reacted to Avengers Endgame. They were cheering and jumping out of their seats. Every joke is landing and they're loving it. It's one of the greatest moments of my life. That's why you get into the business. Mortal Kombat is set to release in theaters October 24th, 2025. So there you have it. The writer of the second one is saying that the reactions are compared to Avengers Endgame. He should be saying this. He's trying to sell his movie, so I completely understand. Should we take it with a grain of salt? Of course. This is, his baby. He loves this bad boy, and he wants it to succeed so he can continue to make a third one and maybe a fourth and so on and so forth. So it sounds like they put a lot of care into it. He's saying all the right things. The tournament, the times between the tournament, he wants to be compelling. The fatalities, the blood, the comedy, everything that he's saying, it sounds wonderful. And it's everything that we wanted to hear. So I think it sounds awesome. I mean, if you look at these Entertainment Weekly photos that dropped a few months ago, it looks fun. Carl Urban as Johnny Cage is going to be a riot. I love him. Oi, Huey from The Boys. So they're adding the right pieces, and it sounds like test screenings are positive, which of course you're going to say that, and you're not going to say they suck. And the aesthetic of it, Shao Kahn looking scary as all hell, new villains, new heroes, new adversaries, new enemies. It's looking like this could be something exciting. And having Jeremy Slater in it, I mean, Moon Knight wasn't everything, but at the same time, having a seasoned writer who's written big projects, Godzilla X Kong, The New Empire, was liked by a lot of people. I didn't see it, but he's used to the four quadrants when it comes to big movies, entertainment, excitement, good storytelling, and fun, and making it on a big budget scale. So it seems like all the ingredients is there. I want to be excited about this. I know, as we said before, Mortal Kombat 1 was a miss. But there was some good stuff in there. And I think they can build on that. I think they can make it really exciting, entertaining, completely a new story. I haven't even heard of the character that they created from the first one. I don't know if he's going to take a back seat, if he's still going to be in it. I don't really care, but it seems like they're kind of pushing him to the side. So they've learned their lessons from the first. So let's go into it in the second one. You know what I mean? I mean, it looks exciting. It looks like it could be a really good time. So I hope it's good. I hope we're in for a treat. I mean, Mortal Kombat is an iconic 90s property. The movies in the 90s were fantastic. I think oh, my dog's behind me. I think I grew up with the 90s ones, and those were bonkers, those were fun, and those were by no means Avengers Endgame. I don't think it has to be Avengers Endgame, but I think the reaction that he's seeing from the crowd feels like that, and that's cool. That's what you want from the movies. That's what you want from the theater going experience. So if that's the style, I will be there. I will be in the theaters. I will be watching it. If I hear that it's very lackluster, it's very much on par with the same one, I don't know if I'm going to spend my money on the ticket. Tickets are extremely expensive these days. So we'll see. But let me know what you guys think. Do you think that Mortal Kombat 2 could be a lot better and has this potential, and it seems like it's on the right track and you're excited about it? Or did the first one leave, bad taste in your mouth, and you might be over it until you hear otherwise? And I wouldn't blame you for that. So drop a comment below and let me know what you think. All right, guys. With that down, I wanted to get into this. So Apple TV Plus has been killing it with their shows. I mean, we have Ted Lasso, we have Shrinking, we have, I'm gonna blank on the name now, but the one with Taron Egerton, and Paul Walter Hauser, like the shows are on and on. I mean, Foundation people love, Silo people love. It goes on and on. And there was one that came out last year called Presumed Innocent with Jake Gyllenhaal. It was a really fun watch. Not anything too exciting, but there was room for more story to tell within this universe. And I think it was a compelling mystery overall. And I think Jake Gyllenhaal did a fantastic job. Ruth Negga did a great job. Bill Camp, OT, Fag Benelli, Peter Sarsgaard was fantastic in it. So there is just a ton of great actors. And I think the cast really made the show. And I think if there was a season 2, it could be really good. Well, now we are hearing that there is a season 2 coming, and season 2 lead is going to be Rachel Brosnahan, who we are going to see in Superman in about a month. So she, hot off this, is getting some other high-profile jobs moving forward, and I think that is fantastic, and I think she is a great actress who can completely transform. Marvelous Maisel, incredible. And she is going to be, I guarantee, one of the best Loises. I have no doubt in my mind. So I am looking forward to that. And this sounds like it's going to be a good time. And so this comes to us from the Hollywood Reporter. They're saying that Apple TV Plus has landed an Emmy winner to lead the next season of its legal thriller, Presumed Innocent. The Marvelous Miss Maisel star, Rachel Brosnahan, has signed on to star in season 2 of the series from David E. Kelly and J.J. Abrams' Bad Robot. Brosnahan will also be an executive producer. The first season of Presumed Innocent, based on Scott Turo's novel, starred Jake Gyllenhaal as a prosecutor accused of killing a colleague. In renewing the series, Apple TV Plus opted to make it an anthology rather than continuing following Jake Gyllenhaal's character. The actor will, however, remain on as an executive producer for season 2. The coming season is inspired by Dissection of a Murder, a novel by Joe Murray that's set for publication in July 2026 from Pam Macmillan. So I guess it's not even out yet, the novel. Details of the show's plot are being kept quiet. The publisher's description of the novel, however, says it follows a young lawyer defending the accused killer of a well-respected judge. This sounds like it's going to be extremely entertaining. Brosnahan has earned 5 Emmy nominations for The Marvelous Miss Maisel, winning Best Lead Actress in a Comedy in 2018. Of course, as I stated earlier, she plays Lois Lane in James Gunn's Superman, due in theaters July 11th. Her credits also include House of Cards, Manhattan, and The Amateur. So this sounds like it's going to be really good. I think it's probably going to follow her as the young lawyer defending the accused killer. If she is the accused killer who killed the well-respected judge, that is awesome as well. I tend to think I think that might be it, based on Jake Gyllenhaal being the accused killer of one of his lawyer colleagues in the first season. If that's so, we're in for a treat, because she is a great actress. I think there's a foundation with Presumed Innocent that, it's who you expect, it's who you least expect. It keeps you on your toes, and I think there's a great way to play with that in this regard too. Did the killer do it? Was there some, nefarious affair between the judge and this person? And so to lead the show, this is fantastic. I'm curious, Peter Skarsgård, all these other supporting actors from the first season. I'm curious who is going to be the supporting for this second season, because that is going to be very, very telling of where the story's going, but also how good this could be, because the supporting cast, I can't speak highly enough about them. They were fantastic. Even the children in it were so good. So I can't wait to see who else they cast in this. But to lead the charge, Rachel Brosnahan, you cannot go wrong. She is so good. I can't wait to see her as Lois, and I can't wait to see her in Presumed Innocent season 2. This bad boy probably will be coming out in the fall of next year, so we have some time. But stay tuned for some casting news, and we'll report it here. So let me know what you guys think. Did you see Presumed Innocent season 1 with Jake Gyllenhaal? If so, did you like it? Was there something to be desired? And does this casting make you excited about season 2? Drop a comment below. Let me know. Okay, guys, we are almost there. Superman, the Superman, is coming out in less than a month. I already have my tickets for the early screening on July 8th on a Tuesday. I cannot wait. If you guys didn't get your tickets, there's still time to see it on the opening day, Thursday or Friday. And I'm so excited. We are hot on the heels, and we got some fun stuff coming. And James Gunn, being the saint that he is, will always give us updates of what's going on with DCU and also with Superman and what we can expect. However, in a recent interview, he did drop a tidbit about Wonder Woman, and the movie is finally being written. This comes to us from our boy James Gunn and our great site Deadline. I'm giving Deadline all the love today. They're telling us this: Wonder Woman under James Gunn and Peter Safran's DC Studios hasn't hung up her lasso. We're working on Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman's being written right now, Gunn told EW today. DC didn't comment on who exactly is writing the new Wonder Woman. Gunn hasn't yet cast the role of who will play Princess Diana of Themyscira. I doubt that. I guarantee it has been casted, and they're just not telling us. And then, but that's a big deal, right? When Gunn and Safran took over the reins in DC back in late 2022, they essentially began unplugging from Zack Snyder's created DC universe. One of those projects not to move forward was Patty Jenkins' third Wonder Woman movie, which wasn't up to snuff. In addition, Gunn said today, being yesterday, that the new Wonder Woman's a separate thing to the already announced Paradise Lost HBO Max series, which is slowly moving, but it's moving per the Superman and Guardians franchise filmmaker. Gunn also confirmed what was blurted out by Warner Brothers Discovery CEO David Zaslav during last month's early earnings call, that Superman, Batman, Supergirl, and Wonder Woman were the linchpins to Gunn and Safran's DC. Gunn states, I think that's accurate, actually. I think that he got that from something I said. I wouldn't say only those four characters, but I would say that those four characters are already incredibly important to us. Right now, I feel great about where two of these characters are, and then we're dealing with the other two. Paradise Lost, HBO Max's series, was first announced by Gunn and Safran when they first unveiled their vision for DC, aka Gods and Monsters, in early 2023. Set on Wonder Woman's home planet, Themyscira, Gunn built Paradise Lost as a Game of Thrones with Westeros, but with all the inhabitants of Paradise Island. No scribes have been announced yet for Paradise Lost. And so, yeah, they talk a little bit about how Gal Gadot exclaimed that, she met with Gunn and Safran in 2023, and they said, like, oh, you're in the best hands. We're going to develop Wonder Woman 3. I don't know if they quite said that instead of, maybe Gal trying to get people excited about it. But they're definitely stepping away from that. And so on top of that, he also stated a few other things that I thought we should share about as well. And Comic Culture was able to break it down for us, which I really like their breakdown. So they're basically saying James Gunn stated all this stuff. And so they basically collect this for us. But he's basically saying he's writing a follow-up to Superman right now, but it's not a straight-up sequel. I don't know what that means. I don't really like that. I would like a straight sequel because, Batman vs. Superman was the sequel to Man of Steel, and that just seemed overstuffed and didn't really have a great direction. I think a sequel and really build out that franchise and have like a great Superman trilogy is something that we haven't had yet. So that scares me a little bit, but let's trust James Gunn. He also said superheroes have existed for 300 years and talked a little bit more about metahumans and what that means. He also said there's no Justice League yet. Wink. He also said post-credit scenes won't tease future projects unless it really works. And he stated that he learned his mistakes from Marvel. So don't expect any post-credit scenes until we actually get to know a little bit more of these characters, and then he can start teasing the post-credit scenes. So it seems like the post-credit scenes, if there is, might be a little bit more fun than leading to something else, because he doesn't want to shoot himself in the foot. Maybe I don't know what he could be referring to. I mean, his ones in Guardians of the Galaxy, I would have to take a look at it, but I don't know. I think he's probably just blaming himself not to throw it on Marvel in general because he's a classy guy, and I respect that. He was also asked if Ultraman is Lex Luthor's version of Superman, and he said that's close. So there is some mystery around Ultraman. Is it his version? Is it what's his name? Why am I saying Zabaro? Like, that is ridiculous. It is oh man, I can't think of his name right now. Bizarro Superman. There's all these theories of what it could be. So stay tuned, because Ultraman is going to be something surprising. So I can't wait to see that. And then last but not least, as stated earlier, Wonder Woman is being filmed. So I love that he is giving us these tidbits. I think he is so good with the fans and giving us expectations without letting misleading information get out and setting things straight when he needs to, giving us the right amount to really make us surprised. I saw him state that someone commented basically about spoilers and, are you spoiling too much and this and that? And he said, I don't think spoilers ruin the movie. There is plenty of fun things and surprises for you to enjoy. If that's how you feel, then I would be careful, like with what you read and where you go to. But he says, like, I don't really see that as being an issue. So he is extremely confident in this movie and what it has in it. And so I'm really excited, man. We are so close. We now, a lot of us have our tickets. I think this is great. And I love how he is willing to, oh no, Brian Wilson passed away from the Beach Boys at 82. Darn, dude, that needs to be talked about. Brian Wilson, fantastic music creator. Darn, died at 82. So I would say James Gunn, and we trust, man, because he is saying all the right things. He is a fan himself, and I really think he's trying to handle this with care. Wonder Woman is in the works. My choice for Wonder Woman, our girl right here, Ariana. Fantastic. I think she could crush it. I've seen Isa Gonzalez, who I would not be mad about, but these are my two choices. This is my number one choice. I think she would be fantastic. She's already in the family dating Jason Momoa, but this has to be our Wonder Woman right here. This is my choice. Please, she would absolutely crush it. Her as Bix in Andor was incredible. She is a fantastic actress, and I think there is so much she could do leading films. And so I would say, please. And she's worked with James Gunn before, so this is my choice, but that's just me, okay? That's just me. That's what we got going on. And so let me know what you guys think. Like, are you excited about a Wonder Woman movie being written? Do you think, these little tidbits of, superheroes have existed in this universe for 300 years? There's no Justice League yet. The post-credit scene, it's not going to set up too much. It's going to be pretty standalone. Does that excite you? Does that bother you? Drop a comment below. Now we are going to end this bad boy on what I promised you, and that is the final trailer for Superman, which I hear is fantastic, but I have not seen it yet because I was waiting to watch with all of you. So let's get into it right now. No time to waste. This is the Superman final trailer. Let's go.
Superman.
The music, man.
The most powerful being on planet Earth.
Finally get more Lex. He's pissed. He's jealous.
Finally made.
Now, as planned, I'll destroy you. And of course, that reporter you always do interviews with.
Oh, he's
Who
coming
raised
after
you
Lois?
as a child? I'll kill them too.
So beautiful, dude. With filming, the imagery, holding him up with the robot fist. The kaiju.
No matter what you do to
Gotta
me,
get a kaiju fight.
your plans won't work.
Wrap it up.
Good luck with that.
Eyes look a little burnt. Crypto fighting with them. Love it. Man's best friend. And women
Make a
now.
move, Big Blue.
Wow.
Buckle up.
Lois getting in on the action.
They
And hope.
chose him. Let them die.
Hey! Quit messing around!
I'm not messing around. I'm doing important stuff.
The jokes. People aren't gonna like that.
Hey, buddy. Eyes up here.
In IMAX, baby. Get tickets now. Wow. And there you have it. Boy. In theaters, July 11th. Tickets on sale now. This is the best trailer out of all them. It gives you everything. It gives you the piece of crap Lex Luthor, who is so jealous he is willing to kill anyone to get to Superman, who is such a child that he can't accept that someone is better than him, that someone may be more beloved than him. We get Mr. Terrific fighting with Superman, telling him to get his head in the game, the teamwork, the camaraderie, having someone a part of the Justice League. He's going to be a part of it. You know he is. Seeing him with some technology, seeing the intellect of Mr. Terrific, finally getting to see how he is one of the smartest people in the DC universe. Let's go. We got Lois Lane flying a badass ship, getting in on the action with some of the oh my god, dude, my brain is mush right now. The news crew, if you will. You know, him threatening his family, like this is just badass. There was that joke at the end that I said might rub people the wrong way. Not the eyes up here joke. This one. Uh-oh. People are gonna screenshot this bad boy. People are going in, but I think you should give him some room. Give him some room to wow you and be surprised, because James Gunn is not going to fail us. He's not. He's simply not. There's too much riding on this. There's too much money riding on this. Warner Brothers is depending on this movie to succeed, to start their own DC universe and make some money. So when money's involved, it could be dicey, but when you have James Gunn, a creative at the top with such a strong bond with Safran, man, that's a recipe for some success, because it's someone that truly cares about the story, not the money. The money is important to the studio, of course, but Peter Safran and James Gunn are at the top of the studio, and what they care about is a good effing movie, and that is what we're going to get. I have no doubt. I'm sorry. I have no doubt. That's my 2 cents. And that's the trailer, my friends. That's the trailer. And it looks fantastic. And I am so excited. Get excited. Look up. Oh, man, I cannot wait. And I can't wait for you guys to watch it and be along with the journey so we can talk about it and get into it. I'm going to drag Chris's ass out here and get him in to talk about Superman. I'm going to get Zach on the show, talk about it with him, maybe get on his show and talk about it, because there's going to be a lot to talk about. There's going to be a lot to talk about. We are going to dive deep into this. Everyone's going to be talking about this movie. This is the movie of the summer. I'm sorry, Fantastic Four. You have high hopes, but man, this bad boy is going to steamroll. But if it's good, people are going to want to go see more movies. They're going to want to see more superhero movies. And so it bodes well for Fantastic Four. But this is the summer of Superman, and I'm so excited. And David Corenswet couldn't be the more perfect Superman for right now. Not of all time. We haven't seen enough. We haven't seen nearly enough. Hold your judgments at the door. Be excited. Be prepared to be wowed and be along for the journey. And once it's out, if you have critiques, critique it. That's the part of movies. They're meant to be critiqued, but they're also meant to be enjoyed in the theaters with random ass people. And that's the best part. I'm going with my wife, but we are close to the middle of that theater, which I don't usually do. I like to be on the outskirts in case I got to take a piss. But for Superman, IMAX, you got to be centered. You got to be right there. You got to be ready to go. So let me know what you guys think. Are you ready to halt your reservations at the door to give it a good start? Or you got your reservations and you'll see. That's totally fine and that's up to you. But I can't wait to talk to you guys about it. So that seems to be it for the show. I did want to get into, I saw a lot of people getting into the lower box office of Ballerina and what this bodes for spinoffs. We got the Kane spinoff. There's talks of the Halle Berry spinoff and stuff like that. I thought that was talked about a lot yesterday, so I didn't get into it. If you want me to talk about it, I can talk about it, next time, and you guys can drop a comment below if you have any opinions on it. I haven't seen Ballerina yet, so that's why I couldn't really talk about it. I've heard great things and I do want to get to see it, but there's so many good movies in theaters right now. So my recommendation would be just go see movies in the theaters right now. It's such a good time. And being around random people and laughing with them, being shocked with them, crying with them, that is the best part about the theater going experience. And we have so many good movies in theaters and coming, and I cannot wait. So be along for the ride. Get in the theaters, see movies. Let me know what you liked. Let me know what you didn't like. Be respectful about it. And let's talk next time. So that will do it for the Geek Gospel. I will see you guys later. You guys have a great rest of your week, and we will see you guys soon. Take care.